Hey there, sexy souls. Welcome to Weird and Woo Woo. We're going to be pulling cards today, see if there's a message. If you want to stick around, amazing. If not, have a fabulous day. My friendly reminder, you are a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation is to never Cinderella it to make it fit. All right. On the split, we have the Magician and the Death card. I heard mystery and certainty. Ooh. We have the Ace of Pentacles with the we about to start something that's going places. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know when you before you start something and you want to go, hey spirit, is this going to be successful? Is this going to be everything I actually think it's going to be? Because you're kind of like, just tell me now, just yes or no, kind of thing. This is like them going, hey, something you're about to start is going to be everything that you thought it would be and more. It is going to be successful. It is going to be impactful. It is going to touch every area of your life. I like it, Emperor. King of Pentacles, Nine of Swords. King of Pentacles creates the life and the world that he wants to live in. He's successful, vigilant. What is this King of Pentacles concerned about? There are fears with the Nine of Swords. There's some kind of fear or anxiety or mental rumination happening. Oh, the peaceful, joyous Two of Cups. There, as much as I have literally been like, okay, we don't have to do this many love readings. It is such a pervasive theme to the point that I watch and see some of my other respected like readers and channelers that I respect incessantly tapping into the same energy, and they're like, oh my word, why is it so like, I know that I've reiterated a multitude of times that in this revolution, financial revolution that we're having, during the process of this evolution and this revolution, connection, networks, community are going to be exceptionally important to your experience of success within this. The reason being is because there is a major push to a more matriarchal society, and connections, networks, and community is the backbone of the matriarchy. And it can be exceptionally uncomfortable for those that are used to operating in the patriarchy and have been the victim of oppression as a result of the patriarchy, to open themselves up and their heart to connection in a way that they see it and experience it like never before, giving it the level of importance and not conflating that with a sense of codependence or a need to give up discernment or wisdom, right? I think that some people think that spirit is encouraging that, like, you have to do this at all costs, even if it means giving up your sovereignty or giving up blah, blah, blah. True connection doesn't require that. And so I know that sometimes when spirit begins to dapple and discuss this, it can be triggering. And that not everybody is equally prepared for what this requires. And so there is a fear that it is going to be disastrous. And that is pulling from your experiences with the patriarchy. And it's understandable. This is a process. But the reason why spirit is honing in on and amplifying these types of readings is because of that. Helping people move through that. When I specifically work very closely with the dark feminine, and so within that, and that's, we're talking about masculine and feminine energies, there is a harbinger of independence that gets triggered. Is conflated with giving up control, repeating past mistakes. It's requiring people to redefine what sovereignty and independence actually means without, it's creating a new meaning and definition without the influence of patriarchy on that. And so it can be an uncomfortable process. And we are at that stage where a lot of who I read for, they've worked through as much as they can on their own. There are only certain things that you can evolve and expand upon when placed into that circumstance and situation. Like you can only learn so much in college. You have to take on the job. There is always going to be additional on-the-job training. Lessons to be learned, aspects that will have to expand. You are not at the epitome of be all end all. And so that's why this is happening so frequently. And the other thing that I am noticing within my readings when it comes to love is a big focus on either somebody who operates prominently out of their masculine or the masculine aspect within any one of you. Because this is like a child walking for the first time. It's not been done before. You may have attempted, you may have desired, but this part of you operating out of this new sense of masculinity is different. You haven't really done it before. You don't have the experience that places you in a state of feeling comfortable with like feeling like you got your seaworthy legs, within that. So I'm going to do my best not to fight it too much. It's obviously necessary. I may have to remind myself as well as everyone else why this is important and why it's pertinent, and connection one-on-one with somebody, the love that you share, specifically with somebody, romance is one of the many facets of community, connection, and it seems to be the starting place. So I'm going to give it the good old 1-2 heave ho, whatever the hell the thing is, and try not to fight it as much, because I do understand the necessity behind this. Are you kidding me? We don't do books. No books. It is a new path, a new reality that reflects someone's integrity and their truth. I'm living my truest expression. I may have done this before, but not as myself. And that's where this newness comes from, the sense of discomfort comes from. And doing so does require a change. It requires a sense of focus, a change of focus, not a sense of focus, a change of focus, change of priorities, change of priorities. I'm being reminded of, as a little girl growing up, and my mom kind of like really feeding it to me for very good reason. And I do not necessarily disagree with it. It's the product that it created that might be problematic. But it was always this sense of, you go to school, get your degree, you do this, you do this, you do this, so that you're always independent. So that if you're with a man, it's because you want to be, not because you have to be. She always wanted me to have an out, but the method and the manner in which she delivered that message created a scenario where it was all too easy to act on triggers. I didn't know exactly what that meant, because what she was trying to teach me was from her pain and her experience and her paradigm. She couldn't show me what it was like to experience love from a healthy lens, or a healthy relationship. I did not have that growing up. And so my parents were able to be the best parents they could be, given that, but also that hindered their ability in being really great parents. So coming to terms with what your truth is and wanting to live in integrity out of that and allowing that to dictate how you move, I feel like the actions and even down to some of the daily routines will feel very foreign to you as you do them. Conceptually, it makes sense. Conceptually, you get it. Conceptually, you've chosen. Your mind is on board. Your heart, your emotions, cower, fawn, if you will, when faced with this. Because when we are dealing with the Ace of Pentacles going to the Ten of Pentacles, we are invariably saying that we are building with. You do not reach the Ten of Pentacles alone. This new start, this desire, this new start that you have, that you're facing, will require a little bit of work because the Page of Wands is more the flicker, the flame, and you kind of have to stoke the fire. You have to build it, give it time to kind of like, and that takes effort. That takes concerted effort. That like your mindset must be committed. That's what I'm going to say. It takes commitment to that. The Eight of Pentacles. I think all of this is talking about the Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. It's giving someone that has either had to operate within their masculinity and like 24/7. We never really abandon the varying aspects of ourselves in totality. We may create an overdependence on one aspect of ourselves that then throws everything out of balance. But it's as if it's like sharing that role with somebody else is what feels foreign. For some. Tell me about the King of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. There is a prerequisite of closing out one chapter before stepping into another, wrapping something up. I do see the red strings of fate in here. It is successful completion. It is stepping again onto a new path as the Fool, but much more wizened this time and aware of who you are. The Fear is moving forward with gusto, with the energy of Rhino spirit, only to experience a tower moment. You are very much concerned, the proverbial rug being ripped out from underneath you again, and encountering sorrow, grief, separation. Trying to figure out what Spirit wants to say in regards to that. Starman Tarot. It's funny because I get the sense that somebody wants, again, the idea of something, right? Conceptually is great. And you're like, this is what I want. And I want it to go fast. And I'm tired of things taking too long. But this is what is being experienced. And that it's like two conflictual energies of I want this and I don't want it to take 10 years. I want, because I get the sense of Spirit is like, it's a process and you can go as quick or as slow as you want. And somebody really mentally is like, no, I'm done. I'm ready. I'm good. I'm da-da-da. But what they experience in their heart when they begin to make attempts to step on this path is great fear. Again, not fully opening up to something and accepting something because, like Fool says, I mean, it's a risk. It's a risk. So mentally, you're like, you see it from so many angles. You probably dissected it from so many angles. You know it is the right thing, but your heart is just. But that's with change, right? We experience that with any change. I saw it try to flip around. Queen of Swords. Queen of Wands. You can be both. You can be both. Observant, discerning, smart. Well rooted within your power. Something's already begun. The egg is gone. The egg that occupied this new beginning written, it's already gone. It's already begun. It's almost like they're saying the Queen of Swords with the Queen of Wands is too strong of a power. Consistently having your sword drawn and always trying to exert authority. With the Queen of Swords, with the Queen of Wands, it almost feels like an overzealous attempt to establish or maintain boundaries. This is a very intimidating force to come up against. Maybe meant to intimidate, and it's like, it's not a very soft energy. It's not bad, but I feel like you lean too much into these and not enough into the Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. That's what has to change. Reason being is because this energy right here is what's going to keep you in a pattern, in a loop. The devil is the idea that I am chained to something, when in reality you are choosing to have to be chained to that. Existing and operating solely out of those two energies will not serve you, and it's not something that is necessary. You don't have to do that. Okay, hold on. If you free yourself, things will change. I'm not so sure. How does one free oneself? I think that's what it's saying. Ace of Cups with the 10 of Wands and 7 of Cups. When one has always existed as such, you have a cup to give, but the burdens that you experience seem to keep you in this very bold, loud, firm energy. And that's where you're like, well, how do I get out of that? How do I make this new start? How do I become the clown again and accept this new beginning? How do I do that? How do they do that, Spirit? It's like almost as if you're too cerebral right now. And so it's like, give me the step-by-step guide. Because do we have a fucking cup out here other than the Four of Cups? Like completely refraining from the emotion and indulging in that and being open and receptive to it? What is your recommendation, Spirit? How do they do that? It's not like it's a flip of a switch. Communicate, express. Open up. Express the softer side of you. Ace of Pentacles again. Almost like let it germinate within you. Let that feeling that you feel when you first open up grow, kind of like, you know, with the Grinch, with the heart, you know, like let it expand. You get scared when it becomes very big. This again is either somebody who operates out of their masculine energy or somebody who doesn't want to have to share the role of the masculine within their life, meaning like they can't invite anybody else that has masculine energy into their life because they're the one, like they're so used to operating out of that and being the one in control and not sharing any roles. There has to be balance. I don't know, lean into the feeling. If you get excited, if you are presented with an opportunity to feel and experience and express and indulge in emotions, feelings, you got to lean into it. You can't shut down and create a firm boundary when that happens. That's not healthy. Oh. The King of Cups is going to be bringing in that okie dokie. If you're operating in your masculine, you need to delve into your King of Cups. And no matter how big that feels, oof, you need to lean into it. And for those who are used to operating in their masculine and are not welcoming of another masculine energy into their life, into their sphere, you're going to have to lean into the softer side, the receptive side, and maybe accept the cup, Four of Cups, that's coming your way, that is being offered. You've only had yourself to rely on, or you've over-relied on your masculine, no matter who you are in this scenario. And it's time to drop the walls and to lean into the feeling. That's what they're saying. Hope this message reaches whoever it's meant for. Hope you have a fantastic and wonderful day, and I'll see you at the next read.